the OnlyFans, so we can see a mindset of, you know, how he went about making this social media form or whatever they want to call it.
Right. Stokely is very much the face of OnlyFans. He's the CEO. He is the person who gives statements. He is thoroughly believable as the face behind OnlyFans. Behind the scenes, you've got Guy Stokely. Now, he's a kind of old school City of London, a retired banker. He worked at Barclays in his time. He's the authority figure behind OnlyFans. The majority owner of OnlyFans is Leonid Rudvinsky, a 39-year-old Florida-based tech entrepreneur.
This the second
dude. Is actually one of the richest men in porn ever.
Yeah.
Neither Larry Flint nor Hugh Hefner were ever Forbes billionaires. We know he was born in Ukraine, he moved to the US, and he studied economics at Northwestern University. Before OnlyFans, Rudvinsky was most famous for My Free Cams, a cam service that was live action for adult performers. What we know about Leonid Rudvinsky is scarce.
My colleague came to me and said, hey, we've got this new billionaire. And, we don't really know anything about this guy. So I do the obvious thing, like, Google him so I can start looking at his more benign looking ones. Then there are his other known websites, his porn websites. My hunch was, and it turned out to be a right hunch, was that when Leo was a lot younger, maybe he was a bit more careless than he is today. I also have a couple of tools that I can use to start looking at their internet footprint. This brings back like 1,000 results. There are these other sort of really strange websites, and they're essentially, they all have password or passes or something like that in the name. They're essentially promising lists and lists and lists of passwords for paid for websites. You'd suspect he never actually really hacked into websites or illegally retrieved them. Partly because his own company in a court document said the way we make money essentially is these porn sites for whom we offer free access to, they actually pay us money every time they get a click.
Damn, what?
Right.
But so something else which
he basically saying he has some paid websites and he was doing some, what he gonna say is he was doing some understanding about the kids and stuff like that. Seeing who wants to do this and who wants to deal with the younger people on these sites and wanting to buy pictures and things like that.
I see.
But I see this dude's comment. He said, P, it's an avenue. It wasn't made for the game, but can be used by the game. So same as the casino or the bar. And I agree with him. I agree. The only difference with the casino and the bar is that
it's not a sex environment.
Exactly. That's the big deal, and that's the catch. Like, hey man, we already in the grassroots of the game, where we outside with it. To where, if you're gonna step into different lanes, you gotta know what you're stepping into. Because if you might step into it, you can still put a target on your back. And yeah, it might be more legitimate, but at the same time, not necessarily a target from the police, but just a target of currency or whatever the case may be.
As long as that's why you got to be careful with how much you show about what you're doing as the pimping.
Right. Let's see because this is what he about to say. He's almost over, and we're gonna go to the next clip. Hold on.
Which was much more concerning and a lot more eye-catching, which was some of these password sites were offering logins to what were described as underage pornography. Even some referencing models under the age of 10, 11 in some cases. So pretty gruesome stuff.
Oh, Pete.
He knew that paedophiles were out there, and he knew he could make money from them by getting them to click. And when they did click, they didn't get that illegal content they were after. They just got taken through either to other password sites or illegal content. That seemed to be the nature of his business. And this was happening sort of from the late 1990s to the mid-2000s.
In the mid-2000s, Rudvinsky caught onto the craze for leaked celebrity sex tapes, even if they didn't exist. He registered sites for Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, and Britney Spears. He did this because the websites would still drive traffic, whether or not there was any tape on there.
This is quite funny because OnlyFans, this whole thing is you have to pay to get this content. And we're going to pay these porn stars and these celebrities a fair amount. He was essentially saying, back then, I'm going to give you free access to these porn sites, and so
right.
They're not going to get your money.
Man, that's the founder of the OnlyFans, and that's just the mindset of, you know, what we dealing with. So I'm not saying like, oh, pimping, don't be dealing with that because, you know, they doing some scams or they do dealing with kids. It's like we in the lifestyle, you already know motherfuckers want to, you know, that's close to the game, right? So
Right.
knowing it's close to the game, it's furthermore to know, okay, oh, we're gonna try to do this OnlyFans to understand what you up against, right? Because they pushing, you know, corporations at the management level and it's legal, right? So if we doing our illegal activities, you know, quote unquote from society, illegal activities, and then we jump into the legal activities and they doing some illegal corrupt shit, all it is pimp and be aware, you know what I mean? To where, you know, and not only that, right? That's just one thing. That's just how the founder is. The next thing is, you know, these OnlyFans management, you know, to where, like you said earlier, it throws the female off to where now she's dealing with, she not necessarily finds a man for her because now she's just making content with the dude, I guess, or whatever, and then she's being managed by, you know, an agency. And then sometimes, just like the stripper female, you know, they get a boyfriend on the side and the boyfriend don't understand. And I have a video on my YouTube about, you know, the OnlyFans and her husband getting into it on their little live stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. I touched on this already. But yeah, like you said, did you want to put your input on about, because that's what we about to talk about is the OnlyFans managers now.
Oh, like I said, P, it just distorts everything, man. Because like you said, the bitch, you know, she ends up with the wrong man because who she really supposed to have is the pimping. If she trying to be a part of this lifestyle in any kind of way, because she, you know, she realized that sex appeal is something that she can gain from, and the other man that's for that woman who thinks that way is the pimping. But if she don't find him, if she find these managers and these boyfriends that she get confused with, it's not gonna work.
No, correct, man. Most females that want to jump into the, you know, the sex industry or the sex appeal, selling sex appeal for currency, you know, ultimately they want a guy that understands them, right? And the best man that really truly understands their situation and is going to really give them the suggestions to do the things the best way is the pimp man. Like, say for instance, the female, she jumped into OnlyFans and she know about all the tricks and the trades, the agencies, how to do this, how to do that, but she's just not having a man that understands, you know, what she brings to the table and what she's trying to accomplish through, you know, selling her sex appeal. That's where the pimp man will always, you know, understand them and know how to work with whatever she brings to the table.
That's why I be saying, man, this is what I say to these bitches, man. It's only one man that's been designed by the divine for your ass, bitch, and it's not a boyfriend. It's not any of that. It's the pimping. And until you accept that, you're gonna be unhappy one way or the other.
Right, and it's not, and sometimes, like we said, man, this is why I try to do my thing because sometimes the stereotypes be so strong, especially with the female, especially with the OnlyFans female that comes in that way, that the stereotype of the pimp man is so strong that they got buffers in between them, and that's what we talking about right here. The buffer in between them is the OnlyFans manager because
Sure is.
you know they don't understand the difference.
These
One
niggas is
second,
in
one
the way.
second.
Hey, I seen your video about. I didn't get to check it out too much, but you said the players in the max is in the way, P, and these niggas is in the way too.
Yeah, and not they're not like they're I don't know necessarily think it's purposely. It's just the OnlyFans created a lane to become an independent manager like a strip club or a brothel manager, right? To where now you can get model girls that, as long as you know how to pump up and pump up the social media world and make them make content and all of that, then you know you can create a business, you know, and then you can tax them and contract and all that shit. So now it's a legal business. And that's the catch of it. They open up the door to create a legal business within the sex selling appeal world.
They sure did, and it's not even. It's the difference is that like the strip club is legal. Well, I guess damn no. They just made it. They made a version of it for the internet. That's really what they did.
Right. They made a version for the internet, and and the ladies don't understand once they jump into the agencies that they're going to get taxed both ways. That they're going to get taxed by the OnlyFans, and then they're going to get taxed by the agency. You know what I mean? And a lot of females, what they'll think is, well, my name is behind it, so I'm getting all the followings and I'm getting all of this and getting all of that. And realistically, yeah, you will get that, but once you decide to leave and all that, what's your next move? And more importantly, will you have a man that understands and can give you suggestions on the next move? You know what I'm saying? Or are you gonna trip up and find the square man and take another L and another L? But let's hear this dude. So this is the dude that's interviewing the other dude. We ain't seen him yet. And basically another thing I wanted to touch on is a lot of these OnlyFans managers get into becoming OnlyFans managers by creating content on OnlyFans first. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Right. And this is basically what one of the OnlyFans managers is talking about right here.
Let me see.
It's like being a pimp,
Exploiting women or
yeah.
sex trafficking, whatever.
It's not that. Like he was telling me earlier, like it's literally just they're already doing it. You're just making them more money, and then it's a win-win. It's like I do marketing for your company or your hustle, and then I take a percentage of the more money I bring you. So
yeah, it's literally
not that unethical.
It's not. I don't think a lot of people think that OnlyFans kind of draws the line with like morality. But you guys have to understand that I'm not forcing these girls to make an OF. I'm not forcing them to do anything that they're not already doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, like, everything that we do as managers is within comfortability of the creator. So whenever we onboard a creator, we're like, hey, we explain it to them like this. Look, we are here to work with you and for you, not make you do anything you don't want to do. So it's kind of like, give us your guidelines, give us your comfortabilities, and then we work within those. So it's not like we hop into some girl's life and we're like, you need to start fucking on.
Now, see, this is where the stereotype, this is where the buffer we was talking about, because they can still use the stereotype to buffer the real pimp man and then throw them stereotypes on the pimp man and be like, look, we're not trying to force you to do anything. When realistically, that's what the pimp man been saying all his life. Like, we don't.
That's what I was trying to say. They sound like the pimp talking about it, except for where they talking about percentages, because, that's not happening.
Right, because they understand the buffer part, right? And this is what, the square community understands. That as long as they can throw the stereotypes on that pimp man, then they can, keep control of the female that actually want to choose to be in the lifestyle.
Because they got her brainwashed, man.
Right.
Man, just stay away from us.
And I think I didn't start at the part, but yeah, the white dude that was talking earlier, the one that's supposed to be the OnlyFans manager, he said in the beginning that he started by making content in OnlyFans first, and then he ran into a porn star female. Excuse me.
I find it interesting that he was doing the content first.
Right, and he's gonna go back. Well, I got a couple clips. We're gonna let it play for a quick second. Let's see.
Camera.
Yeah.
You need to start giving BJs on camera. No, it's not like that. It's like, hey, you're just selling tit pics. Cool, we can work with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you said you started with one, but like right now, how many models are you managing right now at this day?
So today, as of right now, we have 80 models, but we're constantly onboarding new models. I'll kind of dive deeper into that whole process as we continue to chop it up. But to take you guys from where I was at managing that one model to now is like, I ended up like splitting away from her and I moved back to Miami, and I was like, if I put all of the time that I was putting into her page back into my own page and other creators' pages, I would make a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
So then over the next 2 years, from 2021 to 2023, I ran up my personal OF to 1.2 mil.
1.2 million
in net revenue. So
see, now he's talking about his personal OF, and he's supposed to be an OnlyFans manager.
But he got one.
But yeah, he make content too, and he was making content first. And once I heard him say that, I just thought that maybe all these little white dudes do that first, or maybe they got their own. They don't give a fuck. About that pride and about the morals and the standards and stuff.
No, they don't care about none of that, man. Because they really tricks.
Right, exactly. And the females that jump into this industry, especially the ones that come from all over the world and stuff like that, even the ones in America, they know that these dudes is the tricks, but they understand like, fuck it, I gotta play the game to get my name out there and get on. You feel me? And then hopefully they're smart enough to capitalize. And some are and some aren't. But only if they knew that there's the pimping understand this type of stuff too. You know what I'm saying? It ain't all about the stereotypes.
And it's so I'm trying to figure out a way that we could remove them, from being so heavily placed on us. But the problem is that everybody in the game ain't doing what they should be doing, and it's not helping. Because it'd be one thing. Remember, we said if the stereotypes didn't add up, but the fact that they keep adding up because niggas is fucking up.
Well, yeah, the stereotypes been there since the 2000s. So, and then once this came out, this came out in what 2016, and then it got booming in 2020. So it's new, right? And like I said before, as you see, it's a lot of pale faces talking about this because it came in through the square world. It came in through the sex industry, porno industry world. So with it coming through that way, it's not even on the games level. It's not even on the lifestyles level, really. You know what I'm saying? To where they meet somewhere down the line because why? Because tricks are always involved, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's an independent. So it's not like, it's like dudes, if it was like Pornhub type shit. If you wanted to get your bride and make some content to make some extra money that way type shit, that's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, this is a second clip. I think this one he's breaking down something. Let's hear him out.
Be where he's at right now. I mean, focus on one thing.
I literally did trading, reselling, and DoorDash. I was doing all three of those at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't gonna get me rich. I found OFM. I've gotten out of OFM and in OFM probably 3 to 4 different times. And you know why? Because every time I leave, I realize how much money there is in it.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand the market a little bit from talking with you, and there's a lot of money to be making in that. I'm not really familiar with it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of money to be made in that.
To give you reference, we have one girl that we signed a couple months ago, and she was making like $3,000 a month. We signed her at 50% just because we have to put a lot more work into smaller pages to get them off the ground. She had $120K a month. Immediately out the gate from just organic marketing, I put $10K in my pocket.
So you were getting
50%.
And see, like, look, when they talk numbers, I want y'all to keep in mind that they're pushing it like through hella social medias, Snapchat, TikTok. They're pushing it, and then they're sending hella messages out to their subscribers constantly. Like it's a system. It's just not like, oh, they're cute and they post a couple pictures and people are just flocking on them. No, they're putting in back work. It's some work soldiers. There's some soldiers back there putting in work, pushing it on a constant basis.
That's the only way that they get like this, the way they talking about these numbers. That's how they get it. Dude.
Right.
And that's the highest I take from clients. I don't really like taking anything higher than 30 because 30 is like industry standard.
Mm-hmm.
But again, a lot of the percentages and the way that you sign a model, you want to base it on where they're at because you don't want to undercut yourself. You don't want to put yourself in a position to where like, you have to understand girls will...
So now he's listening. So now these females, right, where they just left their job or whatever, they got an OnlyFans, they probably got a couple of dollars, they want to jump in the industry. And he's telling you, look, we gonna level you where you start at. So if you starting with little, we gonna tax more because we know we got to put in more work. We got to push your shit out there more and more and more.
Lie about their earnings. I've hopped on calls with girls that tell me in the DMs, they're like, yeah, I made like $20K last month. And then I get on the call with them, I'm like, hey, can you send me a screenshot of your earnings or whatever? And they're like, yeah, I'll send you it. And bro, they made like fucking 8K.
Oh, wait. You were sharing me a story of that earlier. I want you to share it here. So,
oh yeah.
Apparently there was a bitch that ran off with your money or something. Talk to me with that.
Yeah, so whenever we had new fans.
Before he say this, you see how they try to they'll try to dibble in game work, like your bitch, if you're saying that you guys are not pimps and all that, why would you have to call these females bitches? Why is it even your bitch? You get what I'm saying? Why isn't it the corporations?
You talk about the bitch ran off with his money.
Right. Why do they spill that in, right? And
Right.
like I said, two days ago, yesterday, these are targets for the real pimps. They would try to throw that shit in there. Like even this real square world, you know, they think these dudes, these e-pimps, they call them e-pimps. You know what I'm saying? What do you say? Fuck what they talking about. If they splitting funds with the bitch, I don't want to hear nothing. Right. Well, we understand that. But we just trying to get a understanding of if the pimping jump into the OnlyFans community, what he's expecting. You know what I'm saying?
We had this girl and she was crushing, bro, crushing,
Yeah.
making like 50K a month.
Oh shit.
And for us at the time, with our first like full agency in effect, that was one of our biggest clients.
Mm-hmm.
She completely dipped to Hawaii. She
Really?
owed us like 10K and just blocked us on everything.
She was making 50. Why did she give you 10?
She was blowing all of it. Her rent was 10K in LA before she
Oh
dipped.
shit.
She just dug herself in a hole. She had bad spending habits, and it fucked us because we didn't have certain contracts and systems in place to kind of save our ass.
But I bet that gave you a lesson.
Yeah,
So
of course.
since then, that shit doesn't happen anymore.
And you know, she probably won. You know, that one probably knew. She probably had some folks, right? Folks was like, man, get in the agency and we're gonna soak up all the knowledge we get out of here, and we about to block their ass and get up out of here. You feel me?
That's exactly that's definitely a possibility. You know what I'm saying?
And this is why I'm talking about this, because that's what the pimping can be up against. See, to where instead of utilizing, okay, pimping thing, he gotta be the one that's pushing her content there and here and doing all this shit. Like, oh yeah, I'm no, utilize these agencies. Get in the pimp brain, utilize these agencies, get in and get out. You feel me? Look over the contract. He just talking about he had to polish up the contract. So pimping take that and be like, okay, they got contracts. Make sure if a situation ever happens that way, we gotta find the ones that the contracts got loopholes in. You get what I'm saying?
You got my gears dirty, babe.
Right. And he said, man, you gotta watch the interview on No Jumper the Sharp did with the OnlyFans pimp. Shit gave me real perspective on this topic. You talking about church, the fake church nigga?
Yeah.
Man, I seen that, but he ain't even a real OnlyFans manager like that.
Shit.
You gotta type into these Caucasian when you want to deal with the OnlyFans world. You gotta tap in with the Caucasian world, because that's the ones that's dominating it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's listen to a little bit more, and then we're gonna go to the next clip.
That nigga Church, I don't even want to call him that, but he didn't even say nothing about it.
No, he really didn't. It was just because Sharp ain't gonna get to a real dialogue. Sharp he a shark. He gonna chop you. He gonna try to chop you. He like that theater shit.
Yeah, but I feel like he was trying to let him talk for a minute. He just kept saying nothing, and that's what got him mad. And then he wasn't even trying to let him talk no more.
Yeah. Well, you sometimes when people don't know how to talk and you trying to peel it out, you gotta be more calm and more chill and act like you to be friend, be more pimpish. You don't gotta be aggressive with it. Sometimes Sharp be dropping the ball with utilizing his pimpish stage. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure why he do that, because he know better. I feel he just want the views. I feel like he realized that when he fired up on the bitch, that's what made him pop. So he tried to keep it. But if he did,
I don't necessarily know if he knew better, man. I think sometimes the clout, gets to you, right? And you just be around so many squares at all time that you just start acting like the squares. You know what I'm saying?
You think they rubbed off on him?
Man, they for sure rubbed off on that nigga. All right, let's listen to a little bit more. Then we'll move this clip though.
All right, cool.
No, not at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, if we do miss payments from girls, it's usually because it's from like a client that's usually a small account or a low quality account, because most of the time, whenever you're providing results and doing a service for people that are already established, they don't really question it, or they don't really hesitate to pay you because you're delivering the service and you're helping them out. But like the smaller creators and the smaller accounts, it's more often that it can happen just because they're more volatile to go jump from agency to agency.
So do you hear that? So like this is some good game you could use right here. Make sure she got a small account. Because they already know, man, this motherfucker might get in and get out.
Get the payments. They're not even trying to get the payments.
Right, they gonna accept you because they gonna get a little bit, but if because they be thinking the girl is ditzy, like they don't know no better or she don't know nothing, but really she might got some game on the back end, to where she gonna utilize all the little gadgets y'all done hooked her up with, all the little followings or whatever, and then it's like motherfucker, she still got her account.
Gotta go outside.
You know what I'm saying? To where now she's
They
in control of
They
everything.
ain't even trying to pursue it. They just like, all right, she gonna come back. Or so I don't know what they think, but
No, he just said they jump agencies to agency. So really, they just keep campaigning like in our words. But what they do, they probably go, put up ads for girls, gullible girls. Like they gotta go find girls all over the world because a lot of American girls get hip to it. That's what I'm thinking.
Everywhere they probably started off with all types of bitches from different places.
For sure.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm thinking too.
This shit. Remember, they said they was running the OnlyFans page, before they started the shit.
Right. So let's get into. Well, first let me show y'all a little fight. Let me see. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Yeah, this is the fight between a prostitute and an OnlyFans girl.
Oh man.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
Wait, what?
It's just a quick little. It's just quick. Hold on. Let's see.
I wasn't getting no money, little jobs, supermarket, bagging up groceries. I'm not making no money to buy stuff.
So you started selling coochie?
Yeah, man. I got a car. I got some shoes for school. Got books. Got hooked up. Got my nails done. Took my mama out to eat. I make money.
You ever been arrested?
Of course. But that's nothing. In and out. Oh, the cops there.
No regrets? Wait, you said you know the cops?
Yes. Hello. I don't know why the cops are fucking with all these girls out here. If it's the same thing as the OnlyFans. I mean, they're only picking on the girls on the streets, but not the girls over here on the OnlyFans.
Wait, you think it's the same thing? Prostitution and
Yes,
OnlyFans?
of course it is.
Nah,
Yes.
it's not physical though.
It's not at all. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, Mama. Please.
At the end of the day, we're not the same.
Bitch, it's the same thing, Mama. It's the same thing, bitch.
Don't call me a bitch.
No. Hello. Okay. It's the selling ass. It's the same thing. Hello. Content. Well, I have the content on the streets. I sell it in the streets. You sell it on a computer. That's the same thing.
That's not the same thing. You're physically there to do
Bitch, you're making money.
Friend, don't call me a bitch. That's number one. Let's be respectful because I haven't called you actually.
Okay, all right.
So that's number one. Number two, let's understand the difference. OnlyFans is selling content, pictures, videos, and sending it to the consumer. You are actually feeding the consumer with your goods. Physically, okay? It's very
You
different.
think you really don't go behind the scenes to meet up these people and get a little extra money and sell the dirty panties? Hello? Everybody, you do it.
Listen.
Hustle the money. They hustle your money. It's the same thing.
Like, what are you talking
Hello?
about?
She said it's the same
Anyways,
It's the same thing, bitch.
It
When
is
it comes
not
down
the
to
same
it.
thing.
Yes,
It is
bitch.
not the
We're
same
both
thing.
hoes. We're both on the same boat.
it is not the same thing, okay?
Yes, it is.
No,
You
it's
just
not.
want to make it seem more classier and shit. But it's not, Mama.
Oh.
Painting it all pretty when reality is not.
So why you
it's
call
still,
yourself an
it's still hoeing, ho. Oh, now you calling me a bitch, right? Now you calling me a bitch. Fuck you, I wasn't getting no money, no job.
Hey,
Fired up on
Hey.
you. Like you ain't gonna call me no hoe.
hey, listen. See, this is what I'm talking about, and bruh wrong because bruh brought up the police to the the original 304. He brought up the police, and she felt some type of way, like they be on my back, but I'm cool with them, and he was like, oh, you cool with them? Yeah, they run into me every day. And then she said, then she was like, I don't know why they ain't on these bitches though, like type shit. That's where it hit it off, like these bitches get a pass for some type of shit. It's the same thing, and that's what the girl's like, no, it's not and realistically, it is the same thing.
It is.
And then what it comes down to being the same thing is because on the back end of these females, they both don't have a man that understands them, right? That's why the whole female deals with the pimp man. It's not, and the stereotype is it's a control thing, and it's like it's not a control thing. It's more that she understands this is what she wants to do. She wants to sell sex appeal for money because she understands there's tricks everywhere, right? But she also wants to be a woman to a man. So therefore, she got to understand she got to submit to being with the pimp man, because the pimp man is the man that's truly trying to understand that female that wants to live in that world.
He sure is, man.
You know?
It'll
But
be
yeah.
the best way forward. It's no other man that's been designed for a woman who's endeavoring to do that.
Right. Right. But yeah, so now we gonna talk. Well, this is him. He gonna interview an ex OnlyFans female, and she gonna give you her perspective. This first one is gonna give her the perspective of how this is all created. Basically, what I touched on earlier. But this is what she said.
Let's do some people a favor then. Let's explain what OnlyFans actually is. I'm gonna tell you what I know, and then you can dive deeper. So first of all, let's talk about how big it is. $6.6 billion spent by users in 2023 alone.
Yeah, wow.
Makes more money than Spotify. Exceeds the global box office and earnings of every movie released in 2023. More than the combined salaries of the NBA, the NHL, Major League Baseball, and the growth is outpacing Instagram and TikTok's early years.
That's crazy.
Damn.
This is basically an adult content site, right?
Yeah.
Like, so what else would you say about it besides what I just said? Because people are like, what is OnlyFans exactly?
Yeah, I like to kind of bring it back to the original intention of OnlyFans, and I think that context is helpful.
Okay.
So, OnlyFans actually originated in 2016.
Okay.
And so the original intent, from my understanding anyways, is it was to decentralize social media, because it is quite difficult, as we know, to build platforms on these mainstream. Obviously, back then it was Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
So if you think about it, you're like, okay, I can come onto OnlyFans. I really love to bake. I'm going to be able to upload recipes, be able to show people how I do things.
What you say?
This is what I heard, P, about how it started. I heard maybe it was even this bitch, but it was back in, when it started, man. This was what I came in thinking that it started with. But now knowing, who started it, I know that that's not the case.
Go ahead. What you thought?
I thought it was like this bitch saying it's a platform where, like, if you like to bake, you can make baking video. Like, this what she's saying. It's just paid for content of whoever's creating it that's not on their other social media. But
right, the paywall. It's basically for the paywall. So instead of you being on the Instagram showing your cooking videos, you can go over here and actually get paid for your content because it's a paywall behind it.
Exactly. But
regular content.
That's not really why they started it, though.
No, because and that's the catch. That's why I played the first video in the beginning, to where you can actually see the type of mindsets of the owners. So yeah, they got in the door doing it that way, but I'm pretty sure their mind was to put it on, selling sex appeal for money, but just having a tax dollar on it.
Exactly.
For sure, that's what it was about. Then
where she come from saying this bullshit? That's what I want to know.
No, she just telling you the backstory. She giving you the history of how it originally started. She probably didn't really know the owner and their intentions, but she's just telling you how it started with her because she jumped into it. So in the beginning, that's how she was introduced to it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right. So she was just telling you in the beginning how she was introduced to it and how it first looked at it and then how it changed. Watch how she say how it changed.
Okay.
But it's behind a paywall. So I can actually create this micro community and I can get paid for it. So it makes a lot of logical sense. So, and the whole allure of OnlyFans isn't just that you kind of have this paywall and people upload content, but I can directly communicate with the person who has that OnlyFans account. So just say if I'm uploading all these different things and I'm baking and doing all of this, you could message me and be like, Vic, you know that video that you put up and I don't know, the muffins and all, can you help me? And I'd be like, yeah, don't worry, I got you. And I'd send you something else maybe for $2 and so the concept is really smart if you think about it. But what OnlyFans has and allows is this thing called not safe for work content. So not safe for work content is kind of the terminology that's used for pornographic content. And so we see now in 2020, it just blew up as a porn platform. And I've read all different statistics, anywhere that range from like 80 to 98% of all content now on OnlyFans is not safe for work content.
Wow.
So it's kind of really gone away from, I guess, this wholesome intent, I would assume, of, hey, let's decentralize, let's let people monetize their accounts, you know, these juggernaut businesses. It's really hard to do that. To now it's just like, you kind of just associate it. And I don't think really many people go on there unless they kind of want to do some sort of not safe for work content.
So you see how she said how it changed. And what we found out is that, you know, the owners had that intent for that shit to change already. That's what they've been doing.
In the beginning.
Right, that's what they was doing in the beginning.
I'm wondering how they got it to do that. Like, how they implement the change from what it was.
Well, they took advantage of COVID.
That's what it sounds like, right?
Right, and it wasn't just them. Like she said, it was a spot to where you could do unsensitive content or whatever the word she used, and it was always there. And people want to get money, so they probably just start getting more and more creative with it.
It's just funny to me how it took COVID for people to just like think about, oh wait, this site I could do that on, right?
Well, because like I told you, like I keep reiterating, a lot of people was losing their jobs because of COVID.
No, I know, but it's just weird how like it wasn't thought about until then that it was like you could do that. I guess you're saying like they knew about it, but they weren't gonna do it because they didn't have to in their mind until they did. That's what you said?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, to where they probably started doing it as a hobby, right? Oh, this is a little secondhand social media. I'm doing my little cooking, and then they might lose their job, and to where it's like, well, I'm gonna cook in some lingerie, or I'm gonna start, cooking with the food. They gonna just start getting more creative because that loophole in that website is there to do it.
I think that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, so now she's gonna talk about, the trafficking part of it.
Oh. The what?
Like how it can be harmful.
But you said something like about the safe heroin room, right? And I'm curious, like, if someone were to play devil's advocate and just say to you, well, this is a safer way for women to, like, it eliminates sex trafficking, like, at least they're not being sold. They have agency over their bodies. Like, what do you say to people who would, like, come with you with that type of thought process?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I actually just recently did an event in Houston, and I had a lady say that to me. She's like, I thought OnlyFans eliminated the trafficker, but I'm now understanding that agencies are the traffickers. And so that's what we have to understand, is there's that element. And then... But it's true. And I think the US definition of human trafficking, it's like coercion and manipulation. And so again, well... is this free will? If again we're seeing, like, the Bop House has 3.2 million followers on their TikTok, and they're influencing 3.2 million, predominantly probably young girls, into doing. So is it really free? Isn't that manipulation? Isn't that coercion? Isn't everything that the whole entire ecosystem?
Now you see how they can try to pull it back into being a pimp?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? To where pimping gotta know, okay, if we jump... What you say?
I said that's what they doing because that's what they call us. That damn HT, man.
One second. Hold on.
You heard me, P? Oh, you froze up. Damn. Shit, I hope you come back. Yeah, there you go.
No, you heard me. I said 1 second. But see how if the pimping was to jump in this field and he ain't crossing his T's and dotting his I's, how it can backfire on him and be a target still, because it's still, the talk is still around, right? If you're going to think, oh, I'm just an OnlyFans manager, you got to understand there's targets on the OnlyFans manager, quote unquote, man too. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. They just going to keep chipping at it. here and there, you know.
Exactly. Especially the females that jumped in and jumped out now. You know what I'm saying? Because they still bitter. They ain't got no man, you know what I'm saying, in their life. They still think anti the pimp man. And now they gotta live with, they feel like a stain, or you know, wear a certain jacket to where now when they talk to guys, they could be like, oh, I used to do OnlyFans, and now they feel like they got a stain on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they just they left a bitter taste with them.
Exactly. So now they got to get on these podcasts and kind of try to put light to some shit to feel better about themselves. Well, just let her finish though. Hold on. Or matter of fact, let's go to the next one, cause she almost done with that segment. I wanted to. What you say?
I was saying it's so easy for this to be avoided. And all they needed was pivot.
Nah, yeah, man, but I don't, you know, I don't really blame them.
No,
it is what it is.
Fault. They just don't know no better.
Right. They just don't know no better. They really don't. They don't know no better.
Damn, they really tried to take everything from the Pippin, man.
Yeah, they did, but it's all good. It's all good. You just gotta move how you move.
Hey, you know, they don't like us because we doing something right, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let's see what she's saying on this one.
So for you now, like, what are, I guess, what are the critiques? Like, are people coming at you saying, shut up, you're ruining our money? Or are they grateful? Like, is it a mix?
It's a mix. Like, I've had people say that I'm not a girl's girl because I don't, like, encourage women wanting to do porn. Mm-hmm. But I think, yeah, and a lot of people are just like, well, who cares? Like, let people do whatever they want. But again, I think, like, if you pull on the thread of let anyone do whatever they want, if you let everyone act out every single little thing that they want to do ever, like, we're going to have a pretty scary place. So I get a mix, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Usually, like, in you know, trafficking, there's like a pimp in prostitution who takes a part of your cash for protection. But then, you know, that generally doesn't end well. Those girls are abused by this person. And then you have some women say they have freedom from the power.
Now, you see how they throw that stereotype in. Like, they always say it doesn't work well because the real ones that it do work well, we don't got time, you know, publicizing it. You get what I'm saying? So they always get the guy, right? You don't never get the female. You know, you only get, it's every blue moon you gonna catch a real female that's publicized talking about the real game, right? And it's gonna be hidden. You gotta go search to find it. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna get the stereotypes of the females talking bad about the pimp man, or the square man like this dude right here talking bad about the pimp man. So now, you know, that's just to piggyback on what he was saying, but he wrong. You know, it's plenty of females that chose a pimp man and are doing good in life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's like you said, that's what they don't show.
Exactly.
You know, the type of work they do with OnlyFans, but then there's this imbalance because the men are, I guess, the OnlyFans owners and whatnot are taking 20% of you showing your body on the internet. So it's kind of like they're saying they don't want to pimp, but someone is still taking a portion of their money, and I guess the agency as well.
Yeah,
so
we take a percentage.
Right. So is there really the power that they think they have in existence, or are they still, like you're saying, they're being trafficked by the people who are taking a percentage and the agencies as well? What do you say to those women who are like, no, I got power, I got my agency?
Yeah. There is what is the difference, just say, if physically we had a house with a bunch of girls and we were taking photos of them and putting it online and being like, you have to give us a certain amount of money for doing that, and we just physically housed them, between us doing that digitally and doing the exact same thing. like I say with recruitment, like we would cold message people and be like, hey, we love your vibe. We think you're so cute. What is the difference in us standing on a street corner and going up to young girls and saying, hey, you're really cute. Have you ever thought about doing OnlyFans? There's no difference, but people think because it's behind.
And look, she just giving us a little glimpse of how the recruiting goes in there. How them agencies tell them girls probably like, oh, you know, you'll get a bonus if you can recruit, you know, some girls to our agency and stuff. That's how they keep growing their little OnlyFans managing agencies.
Ain't that it? Because he said he had 80 clients, P.
And that's what they're trying to explain to the coercion, right? And that's what I be trying to explain to the pimp man. Like, okay, if we're gonna jump in this, keep in mind it ain't just clean slate, right?
No, they looking.
They looking. And you might be feeling like you putting 2 targets on your back. So, you know, you might want to let the bride take care of all of that, right? You might want to let her get into agencies. Why? Because that's a target on them more than you. You know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing. They thinking she's just gullible and she's just trying to make her way and she don't got a platform and she needs, you know what I mean? You got to use the game within the game.
Computer screen, for some reason, it counteracts the weight of it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But there's no difference in what happens digitally to what happens physically, and they bleed into each other.
Yeah. I love that analogy. Matter of fact, I heard someone years ago say, you know, if you were sitting in a room watching people engage in, you know, sexual activity, would you feel like your spouse would approve of that? You know, and of course people are like, no, they would never let me just sit in a room and watch 2 people going at it. It was like, okay, what if you were sitting in the room next door, but there was like a glass wall? Would they approve of you watching them through the glass wall? And it's like, no, it's just, I'm still there, just the glass wall.
Yeah.
I said, okay, what about if you're in the room next door, but there's not a glass wall, it's a camera? And they're like, no, because I'm sitting there watching them on the camera. I'm like, okay, well, let's say you're across the country with the camera. What's the difference?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, when you think about it, we've desensitized it so much. And I love how you're putting it, because I wouldn't have considered that. It's like, yeah, you're still trafficking people, but it's got to.
And it's not, listen, in their frame, in the OnlyFans world, yeah, it's more trafficking because the manager that's like that brothel stuff. That's like the strip club stuff, right? To where they're getting a percentage from the female no matter what. The pimp man actually cares about the female, right? It's actually, we're in this together. It's a lifestyle, right? Whether you want to do the stripping, whether you want to do the OnlyFans, whether you want to be outside, we doing it all. It's a lifestyle, right? And he's just giving the square's perspective to where it's like, oh, what if the walls and all of this? And it's like, you know, the pimp man ain't worried about none of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, he could be miles away and he's still not worrying about it. That's not even on his mind. You know what I mean?
Hell no.
Yeah, that was just that about old girl and her perspective, right? And notice that she talked about the bop house, right? The bop house, to where this is where it's really getting to, right? The bop house is the next level, to where the females is actually, you know, doing skits on TikToks on a daily basis to promote their OnlyFans content. So now they're getting the kids involved, right? They're trying to look younger and persuade younger girls on TikTok, making it all day to bring people to their OnlyFans, to where like moms are recommending it to their daughters, and you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I wish I should have brought up the audition, but I didn't really see much evidence in that audition. I just wanted to give it a breakdown, but we're gonna come right back to it. I really wanted to touch on a girl right here, what she say. Listen to her.
I want everybody to know that I was selling Gucci any fucking way.
Well, you on OnlyFans.
That old nasty bitch. Oh, OnlyFans is selling pics.
Okay.
That's the difference. What you thought OnlyFans hoes was prostitutes?
Well,
Hell no,
I mean,
it's hard to fuck them.
Okay.
Because OnlyFans hoes make millions of dollars, sometimes $30,000 a month at the least.
Okay.
So that ain't they not prostitute. That's not the hoe that you could just fuck.
Right.
Some more maybe.
But she was, right?
Yeah, she. No, we don't know what he was because it ain't. It,
See,
the thing
look,
is,
that.
if the girl's making
So
so
what
much
I
money
wanted to
from
just get out of
OnlyFans,
this is
you
that's
feel
a
me? It's not easy to
stereotype,
just
right?
fuck them unless she probably.
That's a stereotype that the OnlyFans girls, that the OnlyFans girls is getting money,
So she was fucking him.
and they really not getting money like that. The average OnlyFans girl is not making buku money, right? And this is another stereotype. So with the bops, with the bop house, whatever they call it, so that was so dumb. That's such a dumb name. First off, the bop house.
Yo, it reminded me of the shit that was going on in like 2017, 2016, man, on the YouTube, man. It was that clout house or something. I don't know what these niggas was doing. It was all them houses going on. You know, there was you know what I'm talking about?
Nah, I was locked up in 2017.
Might have been you was home in 2018, back then, right?
No, I wasn't home then.
Oh man.
In 2017, so I don't. But the word bop. So for me, the word bop, it goes way back than 2017. It goes back in my high school days. Like bops was like, you know, bops. Like no, they didn't have no standards or no morals and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They was just bops. Like they deal with bro on that side of town, on this side 3-4 on this side of town, motherfucker out of town. You know, motherfucker that be around town. They just, you know what I mean? They bops. That's how we got that terminology from my area.
Hey, it never changed. That's how I know it, man. Since I was growing up.
Right, but this is what they're doing. So in the OnlyFans world, right? So let's watch a little of this and see, because this is what it got to, right? This is the next level. This is past they're their own OnlyFans managers, right? And their way of thinking of doing it is making the content through TikTok. So now they're making like little skit videos instead of just promoting their OnlyFans account somewhere. You feel me? They trying to make little clips and bits and shit to get it promoted.
Yes. If you're not terminally online, you might not be aware of names like Sophie Rain, Julia Filippo, Camila Araujo, Alina Rose, Summer Iris, Joy May, and Ava Reyes. So let me explain. Every one of them is an OF content creator, producing adult images and videos of varying degrees. Alongside that, they all reside together in a vast home, a cross between a content house and the Playboy mansion that operates without a Hugh Hefner figure. The 6-bedroom property costs $75,000 a month to rent. And while that may seem like an obscene amount of money, it's a meager sum compared to what they're making on a monthly basis. As of January of this year, the 8 members had a combined social media reach of 33 million. That's more of a collective platform than a whole host of rappers, sports teams, and even governmental bodies. And instead of the hype dying down from them constantly posting risque photos, the money just keeps rolling in, with one of them telling the Daily Mail that they can afford a new mansion every single month with the money the Bop House is making them. First unveiled last year, the launch, which was led by prominent OF girls Sophie Rain and Aisha Sofe, immediately sparked backlash.
And these girls is like low-key famous.
Damn, you buffering.
They low-key famous.
You gonna come back. Gotta let it load.
With some even citing the downfall of civilization as we know it. Historians are finna skip our generation for real. I don't think the one after is gonna be any better. Gradually, the rest of the creators joined Sophie and Co., leading them to make money hand over fist, literally. And these days, a lot of their content basically boils down to them flexing their cash.
Aisha, how much did you make last month?
Like around 2.5 mil.
Do you feel poor yet? Because I do. How much did you make last month?
1 million.
Alright, next person. Okay, how much did you make last month?
I just made $100K last month.
Yes! Okay. Jujubeen, how much did you make last month? $600. Okay. Wow. Remember when we used
Because
to
of you!
I wouldn't be here without you. I know you saw the clip of Julia making...
Now, mind you, bruh, this is what they're posting on their TikToks, right? So younger girls see this, and they think this is a field of work, like a field of profession they want to do in life, right?
That's exactly what they trying to. Cause look, they showing everything. She just asking all of them in the house how much you made, and they could be lying about the numbers, but look how they trying to make it look good.
Right. And the deeper story is I don't like if they making these numbers, why do they have to be making TikTok content to where the kids is at, right? Why not try to, pivot or make an example to knowing, like to better the younger females, right? And I think because they in agencies too, and they be trying to recruit the younger females so they can do less work and still capitalize on the younger females. You get what I'm saying?
They get that little bonus, for everyone that they get.
And I think that's the trick of all tricks with dealing with these higher ups in the OnlyFans world. So when pimping get there, fuck around, just understand what y'all up against, right? That's all I'm saying. You feel me? That's all I'm saying.
We gotta keep
$400,000
What you say?
We gotta keep digging into this.
Right. Here we go.
a month, so I just need to know, like, how much are you making a month?
I don't know if I don't really want to hurt your feelings. I just don't.
Hurt my feelings? What do you mean?
I don't want to say.
You don't have to say, just show me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I actually, kind of tearing up. $4 million? $4 million in a month?
Yeah.
Only for them to get clowned by the world at every opportunity for their perceived glee over the path that they've taken in life. The fact that they're proud of it is crazy. Why are they taking pride in being bops? While there are around 7 to 8 girls repping the bop house.
AP, hold on. That's how they boyfriends be feeling about them, but they don't ever tell them that, man. Right.
And it's not, see, and the pimp is not going to, like, what he's saying is like bragging about it. It's like if they understood how the lifestyle really goes, when you see numbers like that, because you're dealing with tricks, that you'll be able to stunt in a different fashion dealing with the pimp man, where you don't have to make TikTok contents to feel that you have to show the world that you're doing big numbers, and then you're actually putting a target on yourself because the square dudes are gonna look at you like, ugh. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're getting fans and you're getting liked, and you might get wined and dined a couple times, and you feel like you're in control of shit. But at the end of the day, when you go home, you ain't got nobody to talk to about that shit to that really understand. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. And every woman, they want to be understood, like you said.
Right, especially when they just played the game and played the world and winning in it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think they be making the TikToks too. Because they want to feel like, oh, somebody's going to be a part of this. Somebody's going to catch on and feel and understand what I'm talking about. That's why everybody make content now, because they feel like there's so many like-minded people out there in the world.
At any one time, there are certain creators who have vastly more notoriety than most, and as a result, they are also viewed as being the corruptive forces, which make the house less of a beacon of female empowerment and financial savvy that its supporters believe it to be, and more of a stronghold for these young women, who are all under the age of 25, to tap into men's worst instincts for monetary gain. All the while, exposing a whole generation of children to a lifestyle that was afforded to them by trading meaning in life for cold hard cash. For a whole era out there, Sophie Rain is lusted after in the same way as movie stars were in the past. And while people are quick to criticize the way she makes her money, the insane amount that she's ranking in just goes to show that there's someone out there definitely buying into it. And OF.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, she's saying she's getting looked at like movie stars used to get looked at. And you gotta understand, everything's controlled. Like, a movie star is just an actor that's portraying an image that wants to get the masses to believe that image is real. You get what I'm saying? Same goes with this. That's why I wanted to show in the beginning of this video where the roots came from with the OnlyFans. You get what I'm saying? Because once you know the roots where it come from, then you know how to orchestrate. When we coming in from left field, in the pimpish way, we know how to maneuver within this world, because it's a real world of this OnlyFans thing. And if you really want to get some chips out of it, if you start getting good at it and getting up there in them numbers, it's best to know what you're dealing with when you're getting them numbers.
I like that you put that in there. I'm glad you found that in the beginning.
No, for sure.
girl who is known for wearing a promise ring and pledging only to have sex after marriage, Sophie has always claimed that her morals in this regard are unshakable. However, that hasn't caused any ethical quandary around making an eye-watering amount of cash from her legion of followers.
And really, I'm a Christian. Like, I know it's like, it seems odd. I don't do anything else with anyone on my OnlyFans. Like, it's just me. I was just trying to do social media. I always wanted to be like an influencer. You know, I look up to all these different influencers, and I was like, I want to do that just for, shits and giggles.
4 million of which she made from one man.
I'm a virgin to this day. Like, so people were going around saying that I was a virgin. I got to my manager, so my manager had a meeting with me, and because he's very Christian, and he knows my family. He knows I'm very Christian. So he sat me down and questioned me and made me like a 2-hour conversation. I was sobbing my eyes out, and he put me in a corner and basically fired me, saying that he doesn't want that around his coworkers, but that was never even the case. So I got fired from my job.
However, it's unclear if this Christianity angle is merely a marketing tool, especially as she was one.
Right, they always want to throw in that religion to put that big ass line in between being in the lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? But then, we just seen the manager and the young dude say earlier, oh, my bitches and shit, they want to talk with that slang. And I'm pretty sure these girls, they do the twerking, they be saying they 304s to where they want to straddle the line like they in the game.
Right.
But then on the flip side, want to put that big line oh, no, we're not. To where now it belittles the ones that's truly in the game.
Hey, it's because these bitches really want to be in the game, but they scared.
They're scared because of the stereotypes. They're really intrigued, like you're saying. They're very, very intrigued. And some of these females, they do run into individuals that are gentlemen in the lifestyle, and things start looking like luxury for them, and they fade away. We don't hear about them, but it's so big that you can only imagine how many are doing it the right way in the game. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Said to have been in a love triangle with rapper NLE Choppa and the fellow Bop House founder Aisha Sophie. A situation which apparently led Sophie to out Aisha's internet exploits to her unsuspecting family.
With this love triangle, what's the truth? What happened?
So I found Aisha texting NLE, and the reason why I am not on the song anymore is because I told NLE to take me off. I didn't want to be a part of it, this whole project and anything. I thought it was unfair to me that while we were together in LA, him and Aisha were texting behind my back, DMing and everything. And it's honestly it's really heartbreaking because I love Aisha, and I just don't even know why I should do that.
Beyond that, there's
look, hold on. Go ahead, because we can look at it 2 different ways, man.
That just sound rehearsed, Pete.
Right. We can look because they want to make these TikToks, right? So they want to get the audience of the young female, the high school female, right? Yeah, and that's some Disney Channel type shit. This is the new Disney Channel for these females. You get what I'm saying?
It's a little novella, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or you can look at it there's no structure behind there because they don't got no dude, right? So now if she is in that field to where she has to do this little content or whatever, and there's no structure behind it to where she's getting in messy shit with other females that's texting the same dudes and all of that square shit. You know what I'm saying? But I do lean on more it was rehearsed. I really do lean more like it was rehearsed.
Of course it was. But if you want to talk about the perspective that you were saying, again, the ism will be able to make that not happen.
Right, not even make it happen. It's just not gonna be on the membrane of her or the our mind will be on so much other stuff. It wouldn't be worrying about your girlfriend's talking to the same dude you is. That's high school shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why we think it's so fake or scripted, because it's so squarish.
It's just too it just don't sound real either. It's not even it sound believable.
Well, yeah, the more I start going live, we're gonna run into a lot of stuff that don't sound real because we live in a different lifestyle. Our mindsets is wired a different way. But the reason I'm doing it this way is because it's getting so, watered down and everybody's portraying the lifestyle that we have to talk about the squares and we have to listen to the squares talk. And, that's why we lean on the rehearse more than leaning on she just game goofy. You know what I'm saying?
It's a small matter that when he was asked if he slept with her while he was hooked up to a lie detector, Aiden Ross appeared to let her secret slip.
The way you answered that, it just felt like you're lying. Can I ask that one more time? Did you hit? Oh wait, it's not Sophia. It's Sophie, right? It's Sophie, right? Is it Sophie or Sophia Rain? It's Sophie, right? Did you have sexual intercourse with Sophie Rain? No.
That's a lie.
Like,
Okay,
see,
no, thank you.
like that's just another scene to where it's just like, now this is the streamer world is involved with a OnlyFans world, like, and
all
like
these lanes that they involved in this shit with.
just imagine if Pimpin has some game and she get big and her name get big, whatever name she get on the OnlyFans world get big, and now these opportunities open. You feel me? It remind me of like the Gangsta Brown scenario where, he had a bride down and she do a date with a producer that's an overseas producer and stuff, and the overseas is so interested that she's able to tour and get paid for all her little interviews, right? To where if you get a little bride that's in the OnlyFans world and her name that's in the OnlyFans world blows up to where now she's able to tour, imagine how much orchestrated it could be. How much, if she had the pimp behind her, how much she can and the game could capitalize off that opportunity.
It could be a lot of
and it's probably happening, but it's we would never know unless we brushing elbows with them type of gentlemen.
Which we really won't be, in the physical world. But if we doing research like you just started off right here, you showing everybody, man.
Well, it's not about running into them type of gentlemen. It's about talking to the youth and seizing your moment to where when that moment comes, you could be that gentleman motherfuckers is talking to. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's all about putting yourself in that position, right? And like the gentleman that's probably in that position already, who knows if they came from the grassroots to get in that position to begin with, right? We'll have to dissect all that too. That's a whole nother situation.
Although she's making a generational amount of cash, to say that her place in popular culture is controversial would be an understatement, with some questioning if her alleged income is legitimate, or just another way for her in the bop house to normalize the lifestyle they're pushing. Another strategy that OnlyFans does to recruit girls into OF, and it's working in her favor as many teens are saying they want to start one. If they lie about their age to cater to PDF files, then they're gonna lie about how much they make to glamorize it. Elsewhere, other online figures such as Neon have been vocally critical of her, claiming that no matter how much cash she and the Bop House girls acquire, it won't make up for a void inside.
What do you feel about Sophie Rain's money? I don't give a like, what type of dumbass question is that, bro? Those type of people will never be happy, bro. No matter how much money they have, bro. They'll never be happy. Ever, bro.
And the reason why these square dudes be so mad is because they're right. They know that these females are like airheaded to where now if she's with the pimpin', she will have a whole different aura, right? To where they'll be like, damn, she moved different. Right. She moves different. Like just like I just touched on last, like imagine if the pimpin' was in that position to where she's talked about in these type of lanes and fields and spaces, they will have so much different stuff to be saying about that type of female.
She would be so different from everything that came before it.
Right.
She would probably be making the most.
Right. Or she might not been talked about at all, right? Because that's the realistic of it too, that she might just be in that world to where little few know about what's going on because it's a design that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't want people to see that.
Nah, most of them probably, we probably getting in, getting out, dibbling, dabbling, might get that one trick that stick around 2, 3, 4, take about 3 out that motherfucker and keep on moving.
Yeah.
At some point, like when you're in the moment, you don't feel it, but then like
when you go to sleep at night. No, but even then, bro, that shit, it might even take you 3 years to realize. But when you realize you're gonna be in your head and you're gonna lose your mind so bad, bro.
But as much as Sophie remains the top earner, there's a case to be made that the one who is essentially the face of the brand is Camila Araujo, an OF girl whose self-promotional antics have led to an array of controversies and widespread online hate.
It's like people have really begun to lose interest in Camila.
Okay, lose interest in Camilla, yet this video has 600,000 views using my name.
Scamming people on OnlyFans.
You see what I said
and many other
earlier?
unhinged things.
They know they name. They know they got agencies. They got the OnlyFans. They got all these layers, but they got their name. So they just run with it. As long as they get them views under their name and stuff, most of them females that don't understand the game, but they're in that OnlyFans world, they cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
They cool with that.
This didn't just happen in one day. It's indeed very hard to believe that a normal girl would take this path. But you know every move has a cause behind it. There was a study held in 2022, which found that mostly females who engage in this type of content had low levels of mental well-being.
Like, I think what it is a lot of people can't wrap their heads around fans. They can't fathom the fact that someone would do this, blah, blah, blah. So they have to find some sort of excuse, right? Like, you have to find some sort of like, oh, there's a reason why she's doing this. It's because she's fatherless. It's because she has no family. It's because she hates herself and has low self-esteem. Like, what if I just want to do it?
A creator
Right.
who has essentially...
And that's basically, the pimp man understands that, right?
Right, P.
And that's what, people will hear that right there. All the square world will hear that and just not listen to it and let it go through one ear and out the other.
Oh, because that's wrong to them. That's not how it go.
No, they know better than that. And a lot of females think just like that. But it's a shame that the sentence doesn't end with, that's why I have a pimp. Because that will be the icing on the cake for them females. They don't know that. You see what I'm saying? If they want to really make the cake and eat it too, they got to put the icing on it.
Exactly, man.
You know what I'm saying?
The last piece of the puzzle, they're just missing it, man. It's going to fit perfectly and put the picture together.
And some of them never understand that. And, hopefully over time, through the years, they'll start understanding that. And guess what? The tables will turn to where, people will be, will be having more in charge and having more pull. One second, quick message.
It's good. I'm going to have to do my research about that.
Okay, let's see.
They made a catchphrase out of claiming it's pink. Camila, who is of Brazilian descent, became infamous on social media after first appearing in Mr. Beast's Squid Games, commanding a huge following which is composed of both genuine fans and others who seem intent on mocking her in the comments whenever they can.
This comment right here.
See, she did it backwards. She got her following first and then jumped in the OnlyFans world. She thought she had some leverage that way. But it still don't work that way.
A lot of them do it that way, though.
Right. A lot of them have that following. That give them that motivation to jump to the next level, huh?
Yeah, P. But they don't know how to capitalize on it.
Right. Hold on. My fault. Hold on. All right. Yeah, they don't know how to capitalize on it. I'm back.
Oh, yeah, they don't, man.
If you don't know by now, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Like, you're lucky? I don't know. Depends on your age. For 18 and under, it's my car. For anyone else above the age, I don't know. Go figure it out.
Although her exact age is a matter of fierce online debate, Camila seems to have been making content into her late teens and has spoken about some of the more alarming fans on her page who have known her since her adolescence.
So I'm going to rank the craziest people that have subscribed to my you-know-what, to see my you-know-what. Anyways, starting off strong with number one that actually traumatized me was my best friend's dad. I think that's really weird. I'll never get over that. He also was a single dad to 2 girls. So it's really weird. Number 2, my high school teacher. It's weird because now looking back, he always used to flirt with me, and he flirted with like all the girls. It's weird. It'll never not be weird. 3, I think we're gonna go with like a peer that I had in my same class. Like he honestly like knew me from a long time. Like we were friends since freshman year. We graduated together. We were pretty cool.
And like what you think? This rehearsed too, huh? I'm telling you.
With some trauma, be talking about it like this. She talk about some, and 3, we're gonna go with, we're gonna go with my peer. Like, huh?
They're just like, it's like fairy tale stories, right? So what the TikTok world will do is throw you these little fairy tale stories to get the youth to want to listen and follow you and think it's real, but really, we just, they just be reiterating what the female is thinking, like, oh, my teacher looking at me a certain way, is he flirting with me? Or my girlfriend's dad, you know what I mean? My friend's dad, is he, they throw them fantasies out there to gravitate towards that younger female again. You know what I mean? They do it all. When you see the clips like this where it's like, you don't see the full picture, 9 times out of 10 it's on TikTok.
It come from these agencies, man. They the ones that said if you get them.
Right. And it comes from them OnlyFans management, the agencies, because the founders was the original managers of these females in the porn world.
Exactly.
So they gave them the blueprint.
Oh, they knew exactly what to do.
Right, and they just keep reiterating it. Everybody has their own little branch off.
And it just keeps going.
In the same friend group, like literally Snapchatted me one day and was like, "Hey, your blank platform isn't working because I tried to buy this, that, and the third," and had the balls to text me about it. So I immediately blocked him. Like that was weird. And then maybe like my old like soccer coach when I was a kid. That's ranked pretty low because I don't really think we ever really knew each other like that. So maybe he doesn't remember that he taught me soccer. I don't think he remembers, and I hope he doesn't remember. And if he sees this, maybe it'll like trigger his memory and he'll be like weirded out. But honestly, if any of you see this that you're on that list, you're weird.
But where this is naturally gross, what really made her a polarizing figure is enlisting her brother for content.
What's the worst thing you think I've ever done? Starting off I get bullied for that. Okay, but you get to do Mr. Big.
But look, see, Lil Brad got personality. That's cool, But on the flip side, that's how they get the youth involved with OnlyFans.
She got the little brother in it now talking about I get bullied for that.
Man, that's how they doing it nowadays. That's why I'm like, look, if you want to jump in this world, just understand what's out there. You feel me? So make sure your I's is dotted and your T's is crossed, man. So you know what's going on. I ain't saying not to go get the money. Go get, hey man, it's money in that motherfucker for sure. We heard the numbers, but I'm just saying, understand the bullshit that's in this motherfucker too.
Seems like it just keep going, P.
It's gonna keep going for sure. And the crazy thing is, when we jump in this world, they hate us too. So you can't even be like, you know what I mean? You gotta be you can't be the manager, you can't be the ism. You gotta be just, hey man, look, go do, I'm way over here. It's all good.
I'm all the way. I'm in Canada right now, P. You go do this.
It's a
right.
pig. Pig. Yo. Just show him the car. I don't have a picture of it. The car? No. Okay, I'll send it to you. Okay. Oh, it is big.
Leading to chaotic arguments between them, as he basically admitted he was ashamed of how he makes her money. At times, he's even ethered her.
Do you think I'm a good sister?
No.
Bro, why?
You're my sister. You're mean to me.
Not all the time. Bro, we live in
You're saying this because you're on a podcast.
No, we live in different states. How I mean you. I mean to you when you're failing your class.
But yeah, man, it's starting. It might start getting off topic and start getting all personal with these females' lies and all some way square shit. I try to keep it a little bit more. You feel me? With the shit, yeah, man. You know, I can't go all the way, man. You know, but yeah. Let's see. I think this is a little clip I had up here. Let me see what she talking about. Hold on. Let's hear her out and let's see if we could tackle something.
Their dick without women asking. So many women were able to quit their day jobs and just go fully on OnlyFans because there's so many men that are just thirsty to see that type of content.
Do you know that majority of women on OnlyFans are not earning any money?
I know, like this one girl, she was making like 10 grand a week just from OnlyFans.
Yeah, but that's one girl.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, when you make yourself less valuable, like how men do, when you see it more often,
that's crazy.
That's what takes your value away. Men show their dick without women asking. For a woman, we don't do that. That's why we're more valuable. But now that OnlyFans happened, so many women were joining it. That's bringing our value down. That's why it's no longer as popular.
Or maybe there's too many of you doing it.
That's what I just said. Men show their dick without women asking. So many women were able to quit their day jobs and just go fully on OnlyFans because there's so many men.
So she basically was saying that. She basically was saying
that majority of women
that it's because dudes are thirsty. That's why females. But he was trying to understand. He's trying to tell her like, are they making money? Yes or no? You feel me? Because every female ain't making money on OnlyFans, and that's really the gist of this, right? You got the ones that's making buku money, that's, you know, doing the agency, you know, selling, you know, damn near selling their souls with these agencies and, you know, trying to recruit younger females. And then you got the females that ain't really making much, you know, and both of them have the same ideology about the pimp man. You know what I'm saying? And that be the issue. You know what I mean?
The issue, man, is the one that would solve their problems if they didn't have it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What this is? But yeah, that's basically what it be coming down to, right? I said that's basically what it be coming down to, that you got the ones that's barely making money in that field, right? And then you got the ones that's making buku money in the field, and they both have the same ideology about the pimp man, to where now when the pimp man enters that, you know, whether he got a bride or whether he trying to, you know, persuade a bride in that industry, he got to understand that, you know, they still ain't fucking with you still. So to where you got to bring this type of knowledge to the game. You got to let them know that either or, if you get buku money, you're still not going to be happy. And either if you're barely making money, you think you need to be in the industry, you're still not going to be making money. You know what I'm saying?
Got to get with the pimping.
You know, and it's not necessarily you got to get with the pimping. You might need to go get a square job, or because ultimately you are female, right? And females, you know, you want maybe the family or the man that just loves you or whatever the case may be, right? You're a female. So if you know you're a female and you want to get money too, it's either you want to change your mindset of how men are or how the pimp man is, or you might want to leave the field you're in. So over time, a man will start to respect you for who you are now. You get what I'm saying? It's one or the other. Because, you know, if you really want to be happy in life, man, whether you're the OnlyFans, and this is for the fellas too, if y'all in the game and y'all want to jump in this world, see how it is. See what you up against. See how to move. You know, maybe put her in one of these agencies and let her do her thing, but give her enough game to, you feel me, maneuver and win in it. So it's really tackling a lot of points on here. You know what I'm saying?
Because if I want to touch on what you were saying about the square job, right? Because if they jump in this motherfucker for a little bit, then like you said, they got that stain. They feel like they got it on them. Damn, he freezed up. I think you can still hear me though, but they got that stain on them now. So it's like now they're not gonna be understood. They're not gonna find a man in the square world that you know will accept them 100% because they got that OnlyFans that they did. And you know, they got them thinking about all the things that they was doing while they had that motherfucker.
No, you're right. You're right. You saying a good point right there because they get blinded because of the money. You touching on like even the middle ground females that's making enough money, they still not gonna find, you know, that true happiness because even though they might be making money and they think they don't need a man because they're hearing all these red pill dudes that's calling them this and calling them that, and then they hear all the stereotypes about the pimp man that actually is the man that's gonna understand you, but they hear the stereotypes that's blocking them away. Those females too, they gotta understand that they're not gonna, you know, even though you're making money doesn't mean you're gonna be making, you know, you're gonna be happy in life.
Right, money ain't everything, you know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, a woman. Well, everybody, we designed to need each other, but they
And if I pause, go ahead and keep talking. Don't worry.
They need that emotional connection in life, man.
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you though. I hear you. They do, and that's just being a human being, right? And it's about them wanting to. It's about them wanting to know how to control that emotion too.
Oh, for sure. Because if they could, then they would realize that they're giving it to the wrong person.
Right. But yeah, that's all the little clips I had, man. And you know, we gonna jump on the next topic next time. You know what I'm saying, man?
And I'm finna get ready to hit the bed, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna tap in.